Hey folks, why haven't you subscribed yet? Tell them, Lily. Hey folks, so there is, I have another video up about invasive species. That one was about more about invasive predators. In this video, I want to cover a few other invasive things. So something that is invasive does not have to be a predator eating other creatures to be a problem for the environment. Things like silver carp, they compete with other species for food. So they largely are plankton feeders, filter feeders. So they filter out small insects, plankton, and that kind of thing. And they compete with things like buffalo, paddlefish, even things like walleye and things, not only for food but also for space within a river system. Unfortunately, these are silver carp are from Asia. They most likely had been brought over as a food source or something else, and I don't remember exactly what, but they were released into the Mississippi. If I remember right, it may have been in a pond that had flooded, and the carp had got out of the pond and wreaked havoc. So they now travel large portions of the Mississippi into the Ohio, into the Tennessee. They're really bad for the environment. The thing of it is, places where natural predators remained intact were not hit as hard. Places where alligator gar, in particular, alligator gar has been hunted almost to extinction. In many places, they are gar in general are considered a trash fish by fishermen, by many fishermen. I don't think so. They're a predator. I find them highly fascinating. I do not. A lot of people are targeted through bow fishing and other things. The issue is gars are predators. They're there for a reason. They're not eating bass, they're not eating that kind of thing. But people assumed that they were eating game fish, so they exterminated gars out of large portions of rivers. In particular, alligator gars was seen as a threat to humans because of their massive size. Those places where those predators were removed are the ones hit hard by silver carp, whereas places where large alligator gars still are prevalent do not have that issue. The gar feed on those. So there's other things. I have a few clips here. Two in particular about insects. I will show here. If you see this little beetle here, that around here is called a Japanese beetle. They play havoc on the environment, eating native plants and things. They are an invasive species. As you see, these plants, so I don't know what they are, have a lot on them, as well as these small saplings. If you look at this hemlock, it's dying. Now, the hemlock here in the United States, at least in these parts in Tennessee, they're dying at a really large rate. Because of a bug, a small bug. If you focus, you see the little white spots on that, and the little, you can actually see some things. That is the remnants of the hemlock woolly adalgid. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot we can do. These came from Russia. In places, they are a Eurasian species, that our native trees, our native hemlocks, were not equipped to fight off, unfortunately. This happens a lot. So, as you heard me saying that, they were, these are small creatures. In particular, the woolly adalgid is almost microscopic, but they have wiped out huge expanses of eastern hemlock throughout national parks and just forests in general. So it's not only the invasive predators we have to worry about. Now, I do want to, again, there is a difference in man-made invasive, and at least ethically, there's a difference between man-made invasive and something like natural colonization, the migration or the range expansion of animals into novel environments through natural means. Things like alligator are moving into Tennessee. I may have said that in the other video. Thing of it is, alligator lived in Tennessee at one point, so there's that. But hopefully we learn our lessons soon. In particular, the Japanese beetle. I don't know how true it is. There was a rumor that they were brought in for kudzu. Kudzu is an invasive species. Kudzu was brought in for erosion control. It overtakes everything and chokes all the native plant life out and just covers an entire area. So kudzu is bad. So they brought in a beetle to eat the kudzu, but the beetle doesn't eat the kudzu. Or at least that's the rumor. I've not really looked into that. The Japanese beetle, as you saw, it devours a lot of native plants and devours garden vegetables, or at least the foliage off the vegetables. They are quite a bother. And then you have things like European starlings, that these birds have been brought over, and they don't necessarily eat, they don't compete with large, or they don't consume large, what we would consider important species, as the layman tends to see insects as non-important. But they do compete with native birds, and not only food, but nesting spaces and everything else. So there are a lot of invasive species, unfortunately, in the area, and it is something we need to stop. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it, and I hope you all have a great day.